Hello and welcome back. My name is Todd, also known as Magi Mech, and this is Terraria. Coming back pretty much right after we left off. Um, Built our terrible living condition house. Um, Need more wood to be able to build it better, and don't really have any at the moment. So we gotta go out and get some, and that'll probably also give us our NPCs a chance to get into their houses for Christ's sakes, before the zombies get them. In the meantime, let's go out and try and get some more wood. So, without dying, if possible, we'll come back. Ooh, a shackle. That'll be useful. Oh, I left on auto pause. There we go. You can turn on auto pause so every time you open your inventory, it'll pause the game. Personally, I turn it on sometimes when I'm trying to make sure that the game's not progressing without me, and it's somewhat useful. In the meantime, though, let's kill these guys and get our stuff. Look at that damage. Finally being able to get through these zombies without too many issues. It's kind of sad thinking about the fact that these are like the beginning enemies of the game and they've already killed me like, what, 5, 6 times? That's gonna... this entire series is gonna be real fun. Just know it. Got a nice big clump of them, though. We did get that tree. It only gave us about 10 pieces of wood. We'll have to start reforesting here soon, but not right now. Not right now. I probably should have dropped off my stuff in one of those chests so I'm not just carrying around a bunch of crap. Oh, I did want to do one thing, though. This thing bothers me. I got to fix it. Come on. There we go. No? No? Does it not want to work? It ought to work. Oh, it's hammered. That's why it is like that. Okay. How annoying. So when you hammer a block, it changes its orientation, which can be flattened, moved, just a whole bunch of things. Alright, so we did get a little bit farther in the world. These are some bigger trees. That's kind of nice. Gonna use some of these. We will be replanting these eventually so we can have a nice sustainable forest, but for now we're just trying not to die and get some more wood. Maybe get some other things. Oh, so the background just changed, meaning that we've just entered a forest. Or not a forest, but a desert. Deserts are pretty inhospitable with some of the mobs we've got. They are where we'll encounter some of our first bosses, which, let me see. I think I have boss checklist set up to G? No, that's map. What is it set to? X? There it is. Okay, so I do have boss checklist installed. And this will kind of check our progress throughout. I do plan on doing all of the events and everything up until maybe Supreme Calamitous, which I may or may not be able to do based on the amount of time it takes. If these eyeballs don't kill me, I might be able to run away. Oh, no, zombies. I'm gonna... oh, and I popped. Well, at least I didn't get all of my gold. They did get some of it, sadly. But I did store some of it in the piggy bank last time, which is kind of nice. That stored gold won't be lost on death, and I can use it from anywhere, really. For now, let's take and drop a lot of the stuff in a chest. Won't need any of this, won't need this, won't need that. I swear, if you've never played Terraria before, you'll learn very quickly that this game is about 70% inventory management. And if you really don't like moving stuff around and trying to create things and seeing things in your inventory, then you're probably not going to like this game. But I'd imagine if you're watching this video, you probably already know what this game's about and kind of just going with the flow. So let's get rid of all our stuff, keep that. Oh, no, I want that, and I want my torches. I'm not worried about the stone just yet. Let's see, is there anything good I could craft? Oh, I did forget to craft my armor. Let me grab the chest plate to start off with. That's the most expensive one, so I'll be able to craft a smaller one soon. I probably want to craft some arcane dust, but I don't want to use my first star for that. I want to start building up my mana. I could build some goggles. Why not? not much I can do with the lenses at the moment, and that'll give me a little bit more defense. Could also build my wand of sparking. Yeah, let's go ahead. Gotta start using magic sometime, so might as well be now. I did finally get some rope out of a pot somewhere. Let's see. Could build some tin stuff. The buckler would actually probably be, from thorium, would probably be useful. Let's go ahead and build that for now. Any bit of defense we can get is good defense, because defense reduces damage by half of its value. So I have 8 defense, meaning that my damage I take is reduced by 4. Except for an expert mode, which means that I get 3/4 of my defense, which means I get about 6 damage reduction thanks to all that. Plus I get a little bit of health from the shield. Always useful to have. Alright, okay. Done dealt with. I'm hoping to maybe get my first heart if I can start mining soon, and that'll allow me to progress rapidly by getting the nurse. And, you know, upgrading your health is always good in Terraria. You upgrade health pretty simply, and there's also a lot of added things in Calamity that help you upgrade your health even more than what you'd usually be able to do in this game. But we did get our rope, so we can start building our little rope down into the pit. So rope is super useful for mining, especially if you're creating your first elevator down, or hellevator as they call it. It's just a big old shaft which is going all the way to the bottom of the world. The world is not infinite, of course, so it'll be useful to have. And we're heading down. Let's see, what is the average size here? I do want to know how tall I can build. Okay, so I need to get rid of 1. So if I bring that up 1, I can go straight to there. Alright, so I want to build a tiny little room underneath my house, which is kind of going to be the storage room, which will be about there. It'll also prevent me from having to use too many walls, and kind of help out with spacing. And it's just a great place to have to store your chests when you're underneath the house, because you can kind of just run along the main floor of your house where your crafting stuff is, to be able to build what you need at crafting stations. You can even leave the chests, you know, near the appropriate crafting stations. So like, if you have a potion station, you can have a potion chest underneath of it. It's all about convenience in Terraria. Big thing is you don't fight bosses just by bashing your head against them, at least most of the time anyway. You fight them by building a smart arena and kind of getting the stuff set up so you can fight them easily, without problem. But there is a fallen star and I want that. And zombie, you are not going to stop me from getting it. See, I told you. You should have listened. He had the chance to listen. He had the chance to run away, but he didn't. He'll learn. Him and his friends will learn. They'll learn. It'll take them time, but they'll get there. Maybe. I don't know. Can zombies fear? Is that a thing that zombies do? I know zombies can like eat brains and things like that, but can they fear? Can a zombie fear? These are the questions we really need to be asking ourselves, isn't it? Okay, let's start building our way down. Alright, so that'll get started for the mine. I kind of cleared it out and we've gotten a good space for it. I'm going to get ready for the next day by cutting down more trees if I'm able. Maybe exploring over to the left, which we haven't seen. Oh, we've got a desert on one side and the Arctic on the other. That's kind of some weird geometry you got going on there, world, but I guess I'm not going to fight it. Don't know if... I think the ice biome here will give us some good loot, but I don't know when. I'm not sure if that's early game or late game. So it may give us some good stuff now, it may not. I hate it when I leave trash around the world. random walls and things like that. It just looks bad. Gotta make it look artistic. There's so many cool things you can build in Terraria, and there's so many people who are really artsy with it and build awesome stuff. I always feel bad because I always build squares and boxy houses and things like that. I'm a terrible, terrible individual. I just like everything to be somewhat symmetrical. But I do enjoy building, so I guess that's better than some who just absolutely loathe it. Maybe one of these days I'll actually get good at it, but I doubt it. I just like things symmetrical. Most of the time architecture is just really not symmetrical. Pretty uneventful. Not much over this way. Lots of big pits. I think I'm going to pretty much take the easy way back, which means I'm probably going to die this direction, but that's okay. Heck with you, slime. You are consigned to that pit forever. I'm sure eventually I'll be consigned to a pit, but hopefully not right now. Got some ninja stars. Not bad. Oh, a chest salesman arrived. Sploosh. Going for a little dip. Water in the early game of Terraria, of course, is pretty dangerous. Oh, sandstorm. Not ideal. So there's a desert right next to an Arctic biome. That's definitely not how nature works, but sure, Terraria, we'll go with it. That tumblewheel will probably kill me very quickly. I really don't want to... Yeah, oh, I'm gonna... Oh, okay, well, easy way back. Don't have any potions or a magic mirror yet, so we're gonna take the easy way home. I would like to keep my vital organs next time, though. Those are pretty important. One day I'll be able to deal with those guys and not have to worry about them. Should get some more NPCs eventually. I don't know what the requirements of any of the modded ones are off the top of my head, but I would still like that heart, and maybe I should go down that hole eventually. Yeah, well, I'm going to explore to the right and see what's there, and then if I don't find anything good, I'll probably end up taking the easy way back. And then just explore that hole. Eventually I do have to work on that mine, and that's going to take some time, but I'm kind of hoping to avoid that for as long as I can. Fighting against the sandstorm here, which means if you stop, you're going to get pushed back, and it's very slow to start. Not the best for fighting enemies, so if there are more tumblers over this way, I'm probably going to die. But there are some pretty good things you could get in the desert during a sandstorm. I just don't think I have the ability to get any of them because my armor's not great. Let's build a little bridge across. Wood platforms are one of your best friends in the early game. Oh, that's an antlion. That is terrifying. Oh boy. Yeah, I should have expected that was going to happen. Yeah. Okay. No more bothering to go to the right or the left yet. I just don't have the ability to really handle it. I will explore down that hole, but for the moment I just don't have the armor to deal with it. So this is the cook, and there's the chest salesman, which are part of these mods. The chest salesman's pretty useful because he sells chests that you've encountered before. There's nothing in the chests, of course, but they're wonderful for vanity. Plus just storing stuff in the game, but they're kind of expensive. The cook, you can give him ingredients, which then he'll unlock new types of food, and he sells food that restores life, but it also gives minor buffs. Very, very useful, pretty much throughout the game. He also sells some vanity stuff, but I'm not super worried about that. The food is what you really want from him. Life regeneration, or mana regeneration, or other things that it provides. Very useful. Good to have a couple in your inventory before you fight a boss or something to that effect. Alright, let's explore down this pit, and if that doesn't work out, we'll just start mining. Probably not going to come back out of this pit in the easy way, but hey, gotta start somewhere. One day we'll eventually get some teleportation potions, or a magic mirror, preferably, and finally be able to build something useful. It'd be really useful to have something like a cell phone or anything like that, but that's super end game. an aglet. That'll be useful. That'll help us upgrade some stuff later. Might not do much now, but always hold on to things. I'm pretty sure I don't need to say it, but I'll just say it anyway because I see a lot of people who don't know this. A big thing about Terraria is that everything that can be used to build something else says material on it. So this wooden hammer, for instance, you wouldn't think you could use the wooden hammer for anything later on, but you can craft it into something. So it says material, so if I take it and put it into my little recipe browser, it shows that I can craft it into a toolbox with a copper pickaxe, a red wrench, wire cutters, and an empty bucket. Not super useful, but that might upgrade into something else because it also said material on it. And before you know it, you've got just tons of stuff, so anything that says material on it is definitely worth it to hold on to, but something that says doesn't say material on it, it's perfectly fine to throw away or sell if you don't need it anymore. Basic tips, but you'd be surprised how many people don't know that one. Well, see now, it's always good to be observant and have lights while you're exploring because you run into things like this. This is a boulder trap. Even in the normal non-expert Terraria, these things do a lot of damage. I think like 100 so. So if we could just eliminate this without getting crushed. Yeah, there we go. So somewhere down here is probably going to be a pressure plate that sets that off, and it would have crushed us. Not a great way to go. Underground caves are not safe. So make sure to always have light going and proper visibility. And we just find a gold chest right off the bat. Man, that's pretty lucky. A nice Grim statue here. Gloom statue. What do we got? Guarding shoe spikes. That's useful. Allows us to climb walls. Probably won't be super useful later in the game, but it's pretty useful right now. I'm going to steal the chandelier. Maybe build a nice cathedral or something with it. Yeah, maybe just put it in my house. You never know. Gotta even stuff out though. I'm going to leave that house there. Never know. Might be useful for something later. In the meantime, though, let's keep going down and collecting resources as we go. Hopefully finding something of use. Something more useful, anyway. The shoe spikes are good, but it could have been a magic mirror in that chest, and that would have been real useful. Maybe in something like a weapon. You never know. Oh, slime's got a heart in it. It loves me. I know, but I must kill it, because it will kill me. Alright, so not a lot down here. Oh, is that coal? Okay, so we got some smooth coal, another item added in a mod. Helps us build some stuff later on, but it's pretty rare, so it's good to pick it up while you can. What's that from? Thorium? Thorium, okay. Let's head down. Oh, we've hit an ice biome from the looks of it. Ice is not the best thing to run into. Don't really have anything to deal with it properly, so we're probably going to head back over to the right, so hopefully we leave the ice biome. I think ice water actually damages you in expert mode, but I'm not positive, and I'm not really willing to test it out right now. For now, we've gone far too down way too far. I can't see. Fumbling around in the dark. Okay. Oh, as I stated, water is dangerous. I'm pretty much dead already. Let's drink a potion. Let's see. Don't have too much time left here. I think we're going to try and go crazy with it. See how far we can get downwards and then just kind of die to whatever's down there and go back and probably end out the episode for now. If I can ever get anywhere. Boy, digging is sure is gloomy when you're all by yourself. In the future we'll have a hopefully something to make this a little bit quicker and less tedious, but yeah. All great things from small beginnings. Okay, found another cave, and not much here though. Oh, Okay, well, that ends the episode quite nicely. I guess we're gonna leave it off there. We'll end up back in our house. Okay, alright. Well, we did a little bit of exploring. Found a really deep hole. Oh, we got a new NPC. This is the Cobbler. He's one of the NPCs for one of the mods. And oh, he sells shoes. Some pretty useful ones. Let's see. Drift boots are pretty good. Healthy boots are pretty good. He doesn't sell any of the Hermes boots, which are one of the really useful items early on. Drift boots might be useful just to not allow us to die. Hover boots. That's probably a reference to Legend of Zelda, I'd imagine. Dash will reach its peak. They're all pretty okay, but I don't really have enough gold to buy any of them at the moment. I guess for now we'll just... Oh. Yeah, for now we'll just kind of hold off. We'll probably add a little bit onto our house next time. And maybe try and get at least a little bit farther. Maybe build more of a wolfram set if we can find some wolfram slimes or drones. And hopefully not die as much. But until next time, goodbye.